Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, meh, just a penny? Well, what if I told you that one tiny little coin, the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth $1.20 million? That's right. A single cent, worth more than a house, a sports car, or a lifetime supply of pizza. Now, before you start frantically checking every penny in your piggy bank, stick with me. In this video, we're diving deep into what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, and why the 1991 no mint mark penny has collectors going absolutely bonkers. I'll also share a hilarious personal story about how I almost threw away a valuable coin. Yep, learn from my mistakes, so grab your change jar, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's get started. Alright, let's start with the big question: why on earth would someone pay over $1 million for a single penny? Well, the answer lies in a combination of rarity, historical significance, and, of course, collector demand. The 1991 penny was part of the regular Lincoln cents series, but there's a twist: some were struck without a mint mark. Now, typically, a penny minted in Philadelphia wouldn't have a mint mark anyway. So what's the big deal? The real kicker here is that some of these no mint mark pennies were struck on the wrong kind of planchet, meaning they were made from a different metal composition or with an error during the striking process. Some of them even have doubling errors or other rare features that make collectors drool. Combine all of that with the fact that very few of these have been found in high quality condition, and suddenly, you have a mega rare coin worth a small fortune. First things first, grab a 1991 penny and check for a mint mark. If there's a little D, Denver, or S, San Francisco, well, sorry friend, but that one's just regular pocket change. But if there's no mint mark at all, then you might have something special. Check for unusual coloration or weight. Some error coins were struck on a different metal planchet, and if you really think you found one, don't just throw it in a drawer, get it checked by a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify whether you've just hit the jackpot. Now, let me tell you a quick story that still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found a handful of coins in the cup holder. Nothing special, just some quarters, a few dimes, and, you guessed it, a random penny. Being the responsible adult that I am, I figured, I don't need all this loose change. So I did what any normal person would do: I tossed it in a tip jar at my local coffee shop. No big deal, right? Well, a week later, I was researching valuable coins for a video, and I saw an article about the 1991 no mint mark penny. I remembered that the penny I had was weirdly shiny and had no mint mark, but it was gone. Just like that. So yeah, I may have given away a potential six-figure penny for a latte. Alright, let's talk about money. The latest auction records show that a perfect condition 1991 no mint mark penny sold for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Even slightly lower grade versions can still fetch thousands of dollars. Collectors are willing to shell out serious cash for these because they're incredibly rare, and demand is only growing. Who knows? In a few years, this penny might be worth even more. So, let's say you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies. First, don't panic. Well, maybe panic a little, but in a good way. Seriously, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning a coin can actually decrease its value. Use a coin holder or a soft cloth to keep it from getting scratched. Reach out to a professional coin grading service to confirm its value. Some people cash in right away, while others hold on to rare coins in case their value increases even more. So there you have it, the surprising, mind-blowing value of the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew that a tiny coin in your pocket could be worth more than a luxury car? If you've got a jar full of pennies lying around, it's time to start checking. You never know when you might stumble upon $1 million mistake. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more awesome coin hunting tips, rare finds, and crazy coin values, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you learned something new, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey, everyone. Imagine this: you're digging through some old change in your car, maybe looking for quarters for a vending machine, and bam! You find a penny. Just a regular OL penny, right? Wrong. What if I told you that one little, dusty, probably forgotten coin could be worth $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 1969 D Lincoln penny could turn you into a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the surprising world of valuable pennies, and trust me, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. I'm gonna tell you exactly why this penny is so rare, how you can find one, and what to do if you hit the jackpot. And, of course, I'll sprinkle in some laughs along the way, because let's be honest, talking about pennies for 40 minutes could get a little dry if we don't have some fun with it.so. Grab your coin jars, dump out that piggy bank, and let's see if you're sitting on a fortune. Alright, first things first, what makes this penny so valuable? I mean, it's just a regular OL Lincoln cent, right? Well, not exactly. The 1969 D Lincoln penny has some interesting features that make it a holy grail for collectors. The big reason? Rare errors and high demand. Now, I know what you're thinking. Errors? You mean like a typo on a coin? Kind of. Some of these 1969 D pennies have double die obverse errors, meaning that parts of the design, like Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering, look like they have a shadow or a second, faint outline. It's like the penny had too much coffee and started seeing double. This error makes it highly collectible, and when collectors start fighting over rare coins, that's when prices skyrocket. Let's put this into perspective. The US Mint made billions of pennies in 1969. That's a lot of little copper coins floating around. But only a tiny handful have this super rare error. We're talking about a couple dozen known to exist, and who knows how many are still out there, hiding in coin jars, old piggy banks, or wedged between couch cushions. This is where it gets interesting, because one of those undiscovered pennies could be in your possession right now. Okay, story time. A few years back, I got really into coin collecting. Like, full-on obsessed. I had my magnifying glass, my little white gloves, you name it. One night, I was going through some old rolls of pennies, and boom, I spot a 1969 D penny. My heart nearly exploded. I squinted at it, tilted it under the light, and for a brief, glorious moment, I was convinced I had hit the jackpot. I was already planning how I'd spend my newfound $1 million. Spoiler alert, I was gonna buy a ridiculous amount of tacos and maybe a cool car, but then I took it to a local coin shop, and the guy there looked at me, chuckled, and said, "Yeah, nice penny, but not the one." Turns out, mine was just a regular OL 1969 D, no fancy errors, no fortune attached. Just my luck, but hey, that's the fun of it, right? You never know what you might find, so let's say you've got a 1969 D penny. First, congrats, you're already in the running. Now, let's check if it's the real deal. Look at Liberty and the date 1969. If the letters and numbers look like they have a faint second outline, that's a great sign. This means it was made in Denver. No D? Sorry, not the rare one. If you think you've got a winner, get it authenticated by a coin expert or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Now, I know I threw around that $1.3 million number, and yes, that's real. One of these pennies actually sold for that much at an auction. But not all of them will fetch that price. If your 1969 D penny has minor doubling, it could still be worth a few $100. If it's a clear, bold double die, you're looking at tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands, and if you've got one in pristine, top-tier condition? That's when we start talking about the $1 million club. Basically, even if you don't hit the full jackpot, you could still walk away with a life-changing amount of money for a single penny. Not a bad trade, huh? Okay, so you've checked your penny, and it's legit. Now what? Time to cash in. Here are some of the best ways to sell it. They specialize in rare coins and have sold many of these pennies for top dollar. Yes, people actually sell rare pennies on eBay, but you gotta be careful. Scammers are everywhere. Some serious collectors will pay big bucks for the right penny. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today. Who knew that a tiny little penny could be worth a fortune? But here's the thing, these rare coins are still out there, just waiting to be discovered. It could be in your pocket right now. Start checking your change. Look through your coin jars, check under the couch, and next time you get pennies back from the store, actually take a second to inspect them. Because hey, you never know, that 1-cent piece could be the start of your $1 million story. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and making money from hidden treasures, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button, leave a comment telling me the coolest coin you've ever found, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a question for you. What if I told you that a single penny, something you might have in your pocket or tossed into a jar, could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.4 million. For a penny. Now, before you start dumping out every coin container in your house, let's talk about this rare and valuable coin, the 1961 D Lincoln penny. It's one of those unexpected treasures hiding in plain sight. I mean, let's be real, how often do we actually check our pennies? Most of us just throw them in a drawer or use them to pay for gum. But after today, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. I actually have a funny story about this, and it involves me nearly giving away a potentially valuable coin. I'll tell you all about that in a bit, but first, let's break down why the 1961 D penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can tell if you have one of these golden tickets disguised as copper. Okay, so what's the big deal with this penny? The 1961 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is what the little d below the date stands for. Now, there were millions of these pennies made, so not all of them are worth a fortune. But here's the kicker, some rare versions of this coin have unique errors and special conditions that make collectors go crazy for them. Imagine walking into a coin shop, casually dropping a 1961 D penny on the counter, and the shop owner suddenly faints. That's the kind of reaction this coin can get in the right condition. So, what makes certain 1961 D pennies worth $1.4 million? Here are a few factors. Mint errors are like the typos of the coin world, except instead of being embarrassing, they can make a coin extremely valuable. Some 1961 D pennies were struck with double dies, off-center designs, or other weird minting mistakes that turn them into collector's gold. Ever seen a penny where Lincoln's face looks a little wonky? Or where the letters seem blurry, almost like they have a shadow? That could be a double die error, and let me tell you, those are worth serious cash. Picture this, you find a 1961 D penny in your couch cushions, but it's been through some things. Scratches, dirt, and who knows what else. Unfortunately, that one's probably not going to pay off your mortgage, but if you find a 1961 D penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, that's when we're talking big bucks. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by professional grading services are the ones pulling in those insane values. Some 1961 D pennies were mistakenly struck on different metal planchets, like those used for dimes. That's like wearing someone else's shoes, it just doesn't fit. But in the world of coin collecting, those mix-ups make a coin super rare and valuable. One of the highest priced 1961 D pennies ever sold was a rare specimen with a striking error that collectors went absolutely nuts over, bringing in a jaw-dropping $1.4 million at auction. Alright, so let me tell you about the time I almost handed over a valuable penny without realizing it. I was at a coffee shop, digging through my wallet to pay for my drink. I was short a few cents, so I reached into my pocket and pulled out some loose change, including a pretty old-looking penny. The barista was in a rush, so I just tossed it onto the counter and didn't think twice, but then, the guy behind me tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, you might want to hold onto that penny." I gave him a confused look, and he explained that he was a coin collector and recognized that I had just handed over a potential jackpot. I took a closer look, and sure enough, it was an old penny with a D mint mark. Now, I wasn't lucky enough for it to be one of the ultra-rare $1,000,000 ones, but it did turn out to be worth way more than a single cent. So now you're probably wondering, do I have one of these rare coins? Here's how to check. This will be right under the year 1961 on the front of the penny. Look closely for doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's profile. The shinier and cleaner, the better. If you think you have a winner, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to find out its true value. Okay, let's say you hit the jackpot and find a rare 1961 D penny. Now what? First things first, don't spend it. I repeat, do not use it to buy a candy bar. Instead, take it to a reputable coin dealer or an auction house specializing in rare coins. They can help you figure out the best way to sell it and get the most value. Some of these coins have sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions, of dollars at auctions. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1961 D Lincoln penny, the little coin that could be worth a fortune. Who knew that something so small could be so valuable? Now, before you rush off to check your piggy banks, let me ask you this: if you found a $1.4 million penny, what's the first thing you'd buy? A new car? A dream vacation? A lifetime supply of pizza? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more tips about coins worth money. You never know, your next big payday could be sitting in your pocket right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got something that might just change the way you look at your pocket change forever. Imagine this: you're at a gas station, you pay in cash, you get some pennies back, and you're about to toss them in that little take a penny, leave a penny tray. But wait, you might have just given away a $1.5 million coin without even knowing it. That's right, today we're talking about the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be sitting in your piggy bank or even in your car's cup holder, and it's worth a life-changing amount of money. So, grab your pennies, because we're about to find out why this tiny coin is causing such a big stir. Now, if you're thinking, it's just a penny, how can it be worth more than a mansion? Well, my friend, this is no ordinary penny. The 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has a very special feature that makes it rare: a wide AM error in America on the reverse side. Instead of the letters A and M being close together like they usually are, they have a noticeable gap. Sounds like a tiny detail, right? But in the coin collecting world, tiny details mean big money. This error was never supposed to happen. The US Mint mistakenly used a proof die, which is only meant for special collector coins, on regular circulation pennies. So, if you have a 1998 penny with this wide AM spacing, congratulations, you could be sitting on a fortune. Okay, let's talk numbers. You're probably wondering, what are my chances of actually finding one? Well, here's the deal. While millions of 1998 pennies were made, only a handful have this wide AM error. It's like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of regular clovers. You know they're out there, but spotting one? That's the tricky part. That's why these coins are selling for insane amounts. Collectors are desperate to add one to their collection, and they're willing to pay top dollar. And now, let's get to the juicy part: the price tag. One of these rare 1998 no-mint mark pennies recently sold at auction for a mind-blowing $1.5 million. That's more than some sports cars, more than a luxury vacation, and definitely more than you'd expect for something most people ignore on the ground. Imagine finding one of these and suddenly having enough money to quit your job, travel the world, or just build the ultimate coin collection. And all because you paid attention to a tiny detail on a penny. Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these golden, copper tickets? Here's a quick step-by-step guide. Grab a 1998 penny. Flip it over to the back, look at the word America in United States of America. If the A and M are far apart, you've hit the jackpot. If they're close together, well, it's still a penny, so at least you're 1 cent richer. For an extra layer of verification, use a magnifying glass or take it to a coin dealer for an expert opinion. Because trust me, if you've got one, you don't want to accidentally spend it on a pack of gum. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story that still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, before I really got into coin collecting, I used to roll up my spare change and take it to the bank. One day, I was rolling up a bunch of pennies, and I noticed one looked a little off. But I shrugged, figured it was just worn out, and wrapped it up with the rest. Fast forward to a few months later, when I learned about the wide AM error. My heart sank. I realized I had seen one just like it, but now it was long gone, lost in the sea of pennies at some random bank. Could I have had a $1.5 million penny in my hands? I'll never know. And that, my friends, is why I now check every single penny I come across. Always check your spare change. You never know when a life-changing coin might be hiding in plain sight. The incredible, surprising, and borderline unbelievable story of the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. A tiny coin with a massive value, proving that sometimes the smallest details can make the biggest difference. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more awesome coin hunting tips. I've got tons of videos on rare and valuable coins you might have in your collection, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. And before you go, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? Or are you going to start checking your pennies from now on? I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, folks, let's talk about something truly mind-blowing today: pennies. I know, you're probably thinking, come on, it's just a penny. What could it possibly be worth? Well, let me tell you, this isn't just any penny. We're diving deep into the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, which has sold for a staggering $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth more than a sports car, a house, or even a year of overpriced coffee shop lattes. And the best part? You might just have one sitting in your couch cushions, your piggy bank, or that random change jar you haven't checked in years. So today, we're going to break it all down: why this penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can check your own pocket change for a life-changing discovery. So grab your pennies, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. let's start with a bit of history. In 1967, the US Mint decided to do something a little different. They completely removed mint marks from all coins that year. Why? Because people were hoarding coins like they were gold bars, thanks to a nationwide coin shortage. So, to stop the madness, the mint thought, hey, if we take away mint marks, maybe people will stop collecting them like rare Pokemon cards. Spoiler alert, that didn't work. Coin collectors are a determined bunch, and instead of stopping, they just got even more curious. Now, normally, a 1967 penny without a mint mark is just another penny worth a single cent. But every so often, a very special one appears. And that's where the real excitement begins. Not every 1967 penny is a golden ticket, but a few super rare error coins have sent collectors into a frenzy. Here's what makes one of these pennies valuable. Sometimes, pennies are struck twice, off-center, or on the wrong type of metal. The rarest and most valuable ones have major errors that make them one of a kind. Some 1967 pennies were accidentally struck on silver or other metals. If you find one that looks a little different, maybe it's extra shiny or a strange color, you could be onto something big. A well-preserved penny, graded MS-67 or higher, is worth big bucks. That means no scratches, no wear, and no evidence that it's been rolling around in the bottom of a backpack since the 90s. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, was going through his late grandfather's coin jar. You know, the kind that every grandparent seems to have, filled with years of forgotten change. As he was sorting through, he found a 1967 penny that looked different. Something about it stood out. So he did what any of us would do, he Googled it. Turns out, it was a rare double-struck error penny. He took it to a coin dealer, who nearly fell out of his chair. Long story short, that little penny ended up selling for over $50,000. Now, was it the $1.6 million version? No, but imagine if it had been. That's why checking your coins is so important. Hold the penny up to the light. Does it have a weird strike, an extra outline of Lincoln's head, or a strange shape? That's a good sign. A normal 1967 penny weighs 3.11 grams. If yours is way off, it could be a rare metal mix-up. If your penny looks brand new, with no scratches or fading, it might be worth getting professionally graded. Seriously, sometimes the rarest details are tiny. A good magnifying glass or coin microscope can help spot those valuable imperfections. Let's say you check your coins and you hit the jackpot. Now what? You don't just want to sell it to the first guy you find on eBay. Instead, do this: send it to PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading services. Heritage auctions and Stacksbowers are where the big money collectors shop. A good dealer can give you an idea of what your penny is worth before you go running to the bank. Let's talk about some mistakes that could cost you thousands. Never, and I mean never, clean a coin. It can ruin the value instantly. If you find a rare penny, take your time to get the best deal. A small minting error can mean the difference between a penny that's worth $1.6 million and one that's worth, well, a penny. So, there you have it, the unbelievable story of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Who knew that something so small could be worth so much? The moral of the story? Check your change. You never know what treasures you might be sitting on, and hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're uncovering hidden gems in the world of coin collecting, and you won't want to miss out. Give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, and I'll see you next time. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, maybe looking for a quarter to feed a stubborn parking meter, and out pops a plain old penny. No big deal, right? Well, what if I told you that little penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, a single 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has sold for that much. Now, I know what you're thinking: a penny? Worth a fortune? You've got to be kidding me. But stick with me, because today, we're diving deep into what makes this penny so valuable, how to check if you have one, and why this small copper coin could be your ticket to an early retirement. Oh, and along the way, I'll share a little story about a time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Trust me, it still haunts me. So, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's talk about how one tiny coin can turn you into a millionaire. Alright, First things first, why is this particular penny worth so much? Well, the magic all comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and errors. Most 1973 pennies were made at the Denver or San Francisco mints, meaning they have a little D or S mark under the date. But the ones made in Philadelphia? No mint mark at all. While billions of pennies were produced that year, only a handful of high-grade, no mint mark versions have survived in top condition. Now, let's talk condition. If you find a 1973 penny that's all scratched up and looks like it's been through a rock tumbler, I hate to break it to you, but it's not going to make you rich. But if you have a penny that looks like it was just minted yesterday, no scratches, no wear, then we're talking serious money. Collectors and auction houses are willing to pay insane amounts for a coin graded MS67 or higher. If you're not familiar with coin grading, think of it like school grades. An MS67 is like getting an A+, but if your penny is an MS69 or MS70, that's like graduating with honors from Harvard. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some of these pennies have rare minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing details. And when you mix rarity, pristine condition, and a mint error, boom! That's how you get a $1.7 million price tag. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was sorting through some old coins I found in my grandma's change jar. I was looking for silver quarters, but I noticed this one old penny that just felt different. I almost tossed it back in the jar, but something told me to check. Turns out, it was a rare wheat penny worth hundreds of dollars. Ever since then, I always check my pennies. And if you're not doing the same, you could literally be throwing away a fortune. So now you're probably thinking, okay, how do I know if I have this magic $1 million penny? Good question. Here's what you need to do: look for 1973 on the penny. If it has a D or S mint mark, sorry, it's not the one. If there's NO mint mark, you're still in the game. The shinier, the better. If it looks crisp, with clear details and minimal wear, you could be holding something special. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera. Look for doubling in the lettering or any weird misprints. These can significantly boost the value. If your penny looks promising, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They will officially grade it, and that's when you'll know if you hit the jackpot. Okay, so let's talk money. Right now, collectors are paying anywhere from $5,000 to over $1.7 million for these rare 1973 no mint mark pennies in top condition. Even a lower grade one can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars, but if you find one in near perfect condition with an error, that's where the big money is. The most expensive one ever sold hit $1.7 million at auction, and who knows, maybe the next record-breaking penny is sitting in your piggy bank. If you think you found a winner, don't just take it to a random pawn shop. You'll want to go to a professional coin dealer or auction house. Some good places to sell include. Before we wrap up, let's go over some quick do's and don'ts. Alright, folks, there you have it, the surprising story of the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.70 million. Now, here's your mission: go check your coin jars, piggy banks, couch cushions, heck, even that junk drawer in the kitchen. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight, and if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could make you rich, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. I'll be revealing even more rare coins that could be hiding in your change right now. Oh, and before you go, drop a comment below and let me know the oldest or coolest coin you've ever found. I love hearing your stories. Hey everyone! Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, checking out that pile of spare change on your dresser. Or maybe you're just trying to get rid of those pennies weighing down your pockets. You spot a 1966 Lincoln penny, and instead of tossing it aside, you think, could this be worth something? Well, buckle up, because you might just be holding onto a coin worth $1.8 million. That's right, a single penny that could change your life. I know what you're thinking: how on earth can a penny be worth more than a Lamborghini? Well, my friends, today we're diving deep into the incredible story behind the 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, how you can tell if you have one, and what you should do if you do find one. And stick around, because I've got a hilarious personal story about the time I almost gave away a rare coin without realizing it. Spoiler alert, it still haunts me. And now, first things first, you might be wondering why this specific penny is worth so much money. Isn't a 1966 penny just another old coin? Here's the deal: in 1966, the US Mint didn't use mint marks on any coins. So, technically, every penny from that year lacks a mint mark. But what makes some of them extremely valuable is a rare minting error. Some of these pennies were struck on silver planchets, the metal discs used for dimes. That means if you have a 1966 penny that's lighter in weight and has a shiny silver look, you might have hit the jackpot. Others were made using a high relief design, meaning the details of Lincoln's face and the lettering are more pronounced. These error coins were accidentally mixed into regular circulation, and today, they are insanely rare. The highest price paid for a 1966 no-mint mark penny with an error? A whopping $1.8 million at auction. Imagine turning a penny into a mansion. That's the ultimate upgrade, alright, so how do you check if your 1966 penny is one of the rare ones? First, weigh it. A normal penny weighs 3.11 grams, but a silver planchet error coin will weigh about 2.5 grams, the same as a dime. Second, do the magnet test. Copper pennies are not magnetic, but if yours sticks to a magnet, you might have something unusual going on. Third, look for doubling. Some 1966 pennies have what's called a double die error, where the lettering or Lincoln's face appears slightly duplicated. That tiny detail can send the value skyrocketing. And lastly, check the edge. If the edge is shiny silver instead of solid copper, that's a huge clue that you have a rare one. Trust me, don't just assume your pennies are worthless. My cousin once threw an old coin into a Coinstar machine, only to find out later it was worth over $5,000. I've never seen someone regret something so fast in my life. Okay, so you think you might have a valuable 1966 penny. What now? Here's what you do. I repeat, do not scrub it with soap, water, or anything else. Cleaning a rare coin can ruin its value faster than you can say big mistake. The best way to know what your coin is worth is to send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it and give it an official grade, which makes it way easier to sell. The most valuable coins often sell at big-name auctions like heritage auctions or Stacksbauers. Collectors go wild for rare coins, and that's where you'll get the biggest payouts. If you're in a rush, you can always sell to a local coin dealer, but be careful, some dealers try to lowball you. If someone offers you $10 for your $1 million penny, walk away. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her old coin jar, the one every grandma seems to have, filled with pennies, nickels, and a bunch of mystery coins. I was mindlessly tossing pennies into a donation jar when I noticed one looked different. It was a 1943 steel penny, which I knew was worth something. I put it aside, but here's where I almost made a huge mistake. I later found another old penny, thought it was just a regular one, and nearly dropped it into a Coinstar machine. My gut told me to double check it. Turns out, it was a rare double die penny from 1955, worth over $15,000. If I had thrown it in that machine, it would have been gone forever. The 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is just one example of a tiny coin that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Whether it's a rare minting error, a silver planchet mix-up, or a double die, there are so many valuable pennies out there just waiting to be discovered. So, next time you get change at the grocery store, don't just throw those pennies aside, give them a second look. You never know, you could be sitting on a fortune. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I post regular updates on coins worth big money, plus strategies to help you maximize your collection. Hit that like button if you learn something new, and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting!